My husband slid divorce papers across our coffee table at 2 a.m. Then he said, "Sign for full custody, or I tell our 5-year-old, you cheated." His voice was flat, like he was reading a grocery list. In that moment, I realized I didn't just lose my marriage. I lost my kid. We've been married 7 years. He's a software engineer who lives for promotions. 5 months ago, he got one, and he basically moved into his office. No dates, no real conversations, no intimacy. Every time I tried, he'd wave me off. I'm tired. Work became my escape. My promotion depended on landing a big client, Jay, a single 8-year-old with a fintech company. My boss told me, be friendly, make him trust you. So I did lunches and coffees and too much smiling. One day I spilled water on my blouse and caught Jay's eyes drop. I hated how much it made me feel alive. I told myself I'd never cross the line. Then I rubbed my foot along his leg under the table. He smiled like he'd been waiting for permission. That night, I went home with him. I left before sunrise, showered at my house, and lied. My husband barely looked up from his toast. Jay came back for more, and I let it happen. Parking lots, elevators, his apartment. I kept telling myself my husband didn't care anyway. And honestly, he acted like I could disappear, and he wouldn't notice. Then my phone fell down the stairs and died. That same day, my son got a high fever at school. The teacher called me again and again, and I never got it. My husband answered instead and rushed our son to the hospital. When I arrived, my kid was already calmer. My husband just watched me, quiet and unreadable. A few days later, he came home early, which never happened. He stopped me at the door and whispered, "I trust you." I cried in the shower from pure guilt. I decided I'd end it with Jay after the weekend. I was trying to be decent one day, too late. Saturday, Beth the nanny took my son to the park. My husband sat me down with that scary, calm tone. He said, "I know about Jay." Then he unlocked his phone and started scrolling. First, me stepping into Jay's car. Next, Jay's hand on my waist. Then my face tilted up, kissing him in full daylight. After that, another shot, my fingers in his hair. My husband didn't yell, he didn't shake. He just asked, "How long?" and waited. I started talking fast about loneliness and rejection. He cut me off. "I never cheated on you." Then he walked out, came back, and placed an envelope in my hands. "I printed these after I watched you at lunch," he said. Inside were divorce papers, already filed. One line was highlighted like a threat, full custody. I pushed it back, no. He didn't blink. "You will." He leaned in, "Sign, or I tell our son why you're leaving." Then softer, crueler, "And you end it today, or he sees the pictures." My stomach dropped so hard I tasted metal. I called Jay and ended it with shaking hands. Jay just said, "Take care," and didn't fight me. I called a lawyer, but I couldn't admit the blackmail out loud. So I signed. Not because I didn't love my son, because I couldn't survive my child looking at me with hate. That week, I packed my life like a thief. I read extra bedtime stories and memorized his sleepy smiles. On Friday, at school drop-off, he cried into my neck. My husband watched with a blank face. When I walked out of the house for good, he said, "You don't need to worry about him anymore." Months later, I got weekends and a few calls. My son told me, proudly, that Dad comes home early now and plays. Of course he does. 2 months after I moved out, my son said, "Mom, I saw Beth come out of Dad's room." My throat went dry. I forced a smile and said, "Maybe she forgot something." A year later, I walked up to the house that used to be mine. My ex was kissing Beth in the doorway. Not a quick peck, a claiming kiss. He noticed me and let it linger on purpose. Then I saw the ring on her finger. He smiled and said, "We're engaged." Beth looked embarrassed. He looked satisfied. I kissed my son's cheeks and left with my hands clenched tight. I started this mess, and I'll carry that forever. But it still burns that he made sure I paid with my son.